Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today I will be unboxing and reviewing one of the brand new Christian Louboutin fragrances. About 2 weeks ago now, so it's still really recent, they launched 7 new eau de parfums as part of this Loubiworld collection. You can read about them online, and that is currently the only place they're available for sale, is the Christian Louboutin website. This I picked up at a local boutique, but I'm scrolling the website now. It looks like the bottles are 90 milliliters, so you have Loubi Funk, Loubi Doux, Loubi Kiss, Loubirouge, Loubirouge, Loubi Crown, and then Loubi Croc, which is the only one that is currently sold out on the website. It's this beautiful, bold red bottle. It's that Christian Louboutin red, and then they all have a little silver cap with a silver talisman on top. It's very beautiful, very ornate, kind of audacious, very glamorous. Definitely Christian Louboutin. Right on brand. A while back I saw a photo of what I thought was a coffret set with a bunch of these little mini fragrances. Now I'm not 100% sure that coffret set even exists. It could have just been a photo of all of these little bottles, but I knew there were new Louboutin fragrances coming, so I kept searching, and then finally, now that it's available, my search took me to the Christian Louboutin website, where you can read a description and the notes. They also have a little quiz that you can take that will help you find the perfect fragrance for you. Since most people don't live near a boutique, you're just kind of stuck having to order blind online, which is so difficult. And the quiz is honestly ridiculous. I took it anyway, but it asks you, like, what style Louboutin shoe do you like to wear? Which isn't going to tell you anything about the right fragrance for you. I did take a screenshot of the results. According to the quiz, it says, we think you'll love Loubirouge, an oriental spicy cabaret. You may also like Loubirouge, a wild majestic leather woody, and Loubi Crown, a royal woody oriental. Based on those descriptions, I didn't think Loubirouge would work because I'm just not that into leather woody. That sounds very masculine to me. And then royal woody oriental, that could work. I was really interested in the oriental spicy cabaret. I immediately called my local boutique and they said, yes, we have the fragrances. And I said, great, which one? And they were like, the red bottle. And I'm like, yeah, I know, but which one? Miscommunication. I ended up just driving down to the boutique to see it in person. It turns out they only received 1 fragrance. 12 units, they were down to 4. It sounds like each boutique only received a handful of 1 fragrance. So if you do happen to live near a Christian Louboutin boutique, it would be worth calling ahead, seeing if they have any in stock. You might have an opportunity to smell one of the fragrances in person. So when I arrived, I was so pleasantly surprised to find that they had Loubirouge, which was the #1 fragrance that was recommended to me based on the quiz. Let me finally take this out of the bag for you. There's nothing else in there. They come in these really beautiful red boxes. Now this feels really substantial. And I know it's just made out of cardboard, but I will definitely hold on to this. And I kind of joked about it because when he was wrapping up the fragrance, he said, yes, and it comes in this beautiful box, so when you travel with the fragrance. And I said, I will not be traveling with this $300 fragrance. That's going to stay at home. And he said, well, just so you know, Mr. Louboutin likes to travel with all of his fragrances, and he always takes them with him. So that's why we have this really beautiful protective box. Christian Louboutin is one of those brands that you expect attention to every single detail, and that's what you'll find with the box. Even though it is cardboard, it feels really substantial. It's nice and glossy, no scratches or nicks. It looks like it could be made out of wood or plastic. The fragrance is described as an oriental spicy cabaret of the senses, choreographed by Marie Salamain. She's the perfumer who created this fragrance. High heels, a cabaret, and a sensual wake of cardamom, iris, and vanilla. Follow the red souls into the glamorous Paris that has always inspired Christian Louboutin, a spectacle for the senses. It feels so heavy. This is probably the heaviest fragrance I own. But it looks beautiful. It's like a giant crown jewel. The bottle is, of course, the beautiful Christian Louboutin red. The cap on each bottle has so many little intricate details. For example, did you notice the little studs around here? So these are the little studs that you see in a lot of Christian Louboutin shoes. This is a globe, so you can see the map of the world. On top is the Christian Louboutin heel with the red bottom. and the heel is sitting right on top of Paris. It's a bit over the top, but I think this would be gorgeous to display, and that's exactly what's going to happen to it. To open it up, you just take the cap off. Red details inside the cap. So let's spray. The mister is so fine. Now this is not a true first impression because I did have the opportunity to smell the fragrance when I was in the boutique. I fell in love. I obviously really enjoyed the fragrance. That's why I purchased. But when I first smelled the fragrance, my initial reaction was, wow, is that beautiful? Like, of course this would be the fragrance recommended for me. I love this. How did they do it? They were able to figure it out based on the type of shoe I like to wear. But no, the fragrance is stunning right off the bat. You just smell it and it overtakes you. It's so beautiful. And it does kind of smell like you're in a cabaret in Paris. Out for a night on the town, it is a very sexy evening fragrance. It's a bit heavy. It's not too heavy, but it's there. You know, this is not a light, fresh type of fragrance. No. It comes out of the bottle full force, and then the dry down is really elegant. It gets a little bit softer after about 20 minutes. I kind of walked around the boutique wearing the fragrance, and I just kept smelling my arm, kept smelling my arm, and it was just growing on me. I immediately loved it, but then it was over. I knew I had to purchase at that point. The initial spray, you get a lot of cardamom, vanilla, spices. It is a very oriental, exotic type of fragrance, a little hint of sweetness. And then after about 20 minutes, you can start to pick up some leathery notes. It's really beautiful, very warm, sensual, not overly masculine. It's so complex. It is not just a spicy, oriental, vanilla fragrance. Not at all. As you wear it and it starts to develop on your skin, you start picking out so many different things. It is so beautiful. I was hooked right away. I knew I had to take home this fragrance. If I had to compare it to something, because it did immediately remind me of another fragrance, it's the House of Sillage Passion de l'Amour. That fragrance is said to be sort of unisex. Again, it's a very sexy date night fragrance. It comes in the beautiful cupcake bottle, but they actually repackaged it for a limited launch they did last year in the men's bottle because it does kind of go either way. Men or women could enjoy that fragrance. What's different about Loubirouge is that I think it is ultra feminine. It is so feminine throughout the entire life of the fragrance. So while it did sort of remind me of that, I guess because it's kind of spicy, very sensual, sexy date night, but it's a little bit sweeter, and I think you get a little bit more vanilla, and it's just a little bit more womanly, delicious and womanly. I think because you get a little bit of sweetness and a little bit of vanilla in the trail of the fragrance. It lasts, it lingers, and it's so perfect for date night. It makes me just want to whisk my husband off to Paris and go out to dinner. It's that type of fragrance. I purchased this fragrance on Tuesday of this week, and I just sprayed it on my arm, sprayed it in my hair, did a little body spray while I was in the store, walked around the store, eventually decided to purchase, and I took it home with me. That was a lot earlier in the day. Well, later on in the evening, I kept smelling my arm because I was hoping that it would last, and it did. It lasted all evening. I took a shower. The next morning, I could still smell it on my arm where I had sprayed it. So I know this fragrance has longevity, and you can just tell. You can tell by the notes, you can just tell by the fragrance as soon as you spray it that it's not going anywhere. Yes, it does get a little bit softer, but you can still smell the fragrance. And I think part of that comes from the quality of the ingredients in the fragrance. When you smell this fragrance, it smells very luxurious, very elegant, sophisticated. It smells high quality, like the type of fragrance that took a really long time to create. And I think that's obvious just by looking at the bottle, all of the bottles, and all of the illustrations, and reading about all of the fragrances and the perfumer. This launch is so exciting for me. It makes me want to smell every single one of these fragrances, even the other two that were recommended to me that I kind of just said, no, that doesn't sound good. Now I'm so interested and hooked because this fragrance is so unreal. I feel like they're all probably just as good as this one, I would hope. What I love about the fragrance is that it has a hint of sweetness, but not too much. It's like just enough sweetness to make it really feminine, and that's it, no more. And it does have vanilla, but it's not too much vanilla. It's not like a baked goods, very gourmand, heavy vanilla. Just enough to give it a soft, smooth creaminess, a femininity. And it's unlike vanillas you have probably smelled in other fragrances. I think some people may be turned off by vanilla because it's just kind of, it's so popular, it might come across as basic, but this is not that. It's like it changed again. It's sweet and spicy and oriental, and then you get a little pop of leather, and then it gets really smooth and creamy again. You go on this journey with this fragrance. The composition of the notes all come together to create something very mysterious. You can't quite put your finger on it. It's strange to say, but this fragrance doesn't really smell like a fragrance to me. When I smell Loubirouge, it is a place. It's a feeling. It's a night out on the town. It truly does smell like a cabaret in Paris. And I've never been to Paris, but that's just how it smells. You can just imagine who you're with, what you're wearing. You can set the entire scene. I can picture the performers and smoke in the air and drinks on the table. All of that is captured in this fragrance. And I think unless you smelled it, it's very difficult to describe because there aren't a lot of fragrances that are like that. If I had to rank my favorite perfumes in my collection, Loubirouge would definitely make it on a top 5 list. And that is really difficult. There are so many fragrances that are so special to me, but this is one of those fragrances that is so different from everything else. You're not going to go to your local department store and pick out a fragrance that smells like this. It just doesn't work like that. The character of this fragrance is something that I don't think you would find in any other brand other than Christian Louboutin. It smells like the type of fragrance that only Louboutin could create. And because it evokes a mood and a spirit, and I know exactly where I would wear this fragrance, it also kind of has a makeup look. Like I feel like I need a red lip and a smokier eye. I actually wore a different lipstick before I sat down to film, and I started to film and I said, no, what am I doing? I have to wear a red lipstick because I just can't talk about Christian Louboutin, and I certainly can't talk about this fragrance, Loubirouge, with a lipstick other than red. You can't wear a nude lipstick with this fragrance. And of course, I'm just being dramatic. You can wear any makeup look, you can wear any lipstick you want, but if I had to describe the fragrance in a makeup look, it's a smoky, dramatic eye and a bold red lip every single time. Sexy, decadent, kind of ferocious. This is a very bold, sexy date night fragrance. It's not a coy, sexy, flirtatious. No, it is in your face, sexy. Sex appeal in a bottle. It's the type of fragrance that makes me excited to get dressed up and hit the town. But it's also that type of fragrance that people are going to stop you and ask you what you're wearing. It's a head turner type of fragrance. Not just because it is very bold and they're going to smell you when you walk in the room, but because it is so unique. I think people are just going to be so intrigued. It draws that mystery. It gives you that, wow, what is that factor? I love it. I haven't been this excited about a new fragrance in my collection for a really long time. There's one other fragrance right now that I'm also really hyped about, but besides that one, this is it. This is the center of my fragrance universe at the moment, which is why I decided to splurge and spend $300 on this fragrance. I took it out of my Sephora sale budget, so I'm not going to be picking up the Kilian fragrance that was in my cart. I decided to get this one instead, but I think I made the best choice. I didn't have a chance to smell the Kilian Roses on Ice before the sale, and I don't even care. I'm not even really interested. As much as I was in love with the bottle and the idea of it, now that this is in my universe, it's all I see. This is all I want to wear anymore. I think if you love warm, spicy oriental fragrances, you will love this. If you love cocoa noir, this is going to be perfect for you. If you really love a sensual, sexy date night fragrance, if you're looking for something that's really unique and kind of stands out that you can wear for special occasions, I think this would be great for that as well. It's definitely an elegant fragrance. You could wear this to a black tie event, a wedding, ball, any sort of really special dressy occasion like that. And yes, I know there's not a lot of that going on, but in the future down the road, hopefully when things return back to normal, this is the perfect type of fragrance to wear to something like that. I just opened the box to put the fragrance back in and I noticed this little silver cap back here. And it says for traveling use only. So I guess if you were traveling with the bottle, if you didn't want to take the really beautiful decorative cap, you have this plain silver cap that you could pop on there. So you can take it just like this. I think that's so nice. All of these details. The other fragrance I'm really excited about at the moment is Oajan from Parfums de Marly. If you have smelled that fragrance, it is incredible. I discovered it a couple years ago, but I attended a master class at the Aventura Mall last week, and I was able to smell it again after a really long time. And I remembered how much I love that fragrance. And it's actually one of the men's fragrances, but it is so sexy and sensual, and to me, it is very unisex. When I wear that fragrance, I feel very feminine. I don't mind unisex, but I just want to smell like a woman. I don't like really manly fragrances, but I'm obsessed with Oajan, and I wanted to talk about it because, of course, I have a code with Parfums de Marly for the free Delina candle with the code ERINNICOLE. It ends at the end of the month, so it's the last couple of days if anybody wants to take advantage. Oajan might be my favorite Parfums de Marly fragrance, and that's saying a lot because I'm obsessed with Delina, but I might even like it a little bit more than Delina. It's honey, spices, warm, sensual, so sexy. Perfect for fall winter. So that completes my unboxing and review of this new Loubirouge fragrance from Christian Louboutin, part of the Loubiworld collection. I am excited to try the rest of the fragrances. I hope they come to the local boutique. That way I have an opportunity to smell them because I can't order blind online with the price tag being quite that high. So who knows? I do have the Christian Louboutin boutique. There's also a beauty boutique in the Aventura Mall. So I'm going to be calling all of them over the next couple of weeks, hoping that they receive more merchandise. Maybe it's a good sign that at least one of the other fragrances is already sold out. They must be pretty popular. Hopefully more people will buy them to review because I'm just so curious. I want to see other people's reviews on YouTube, so I'll be keeping a lookout to see if any of the others pop up. But that completes today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it and you liked hearing about this new fragrance. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Leave me your comments, questions down below. I want to hear what you guys think. Did you ever try the old Louboutin fragrances? Are you interested in the new ones? Does this even sound interesting to you? Let me know what you think down below in the comment section. As always, I will be linking everything on my face, everything mentioned down in the description box for your convenience. And for more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell.